Hey, you guys, I'm so excited to bring Senpai, the Indigo Child, on the podcast today. Thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here for sure.
Yay, I'm so excited. So Senpai is a creator, and I really want him to share his message with you guys. Um, Tell the audience a little bit about what it is that you create.
I'm an artist. I frequently record. I'm a lyricist myself. I do rap, hip hop, but I also started off as singing. So I'm a singer as well. So the music that I put out, you will hear a lot more of a melodic tone. It's not what you hear today. It's a taste for everybody.
Interesting, interesting. So you are in the light working arena, and you bring that through your creations.
Yes, ma'am. I tell everybody that I'm a gardener and I just sow seeds. That's all that I do. Because, I figured out my life purpose is to bring people back into, who they are. From my standpoint, it's just, I see a lot of people losing themselves in life, and just so many different things pull at you nowadays. I mean, in 2024, there's social media, AI, you got it's just so many different groups out there, but one thing that I wanted to remain true was myself. So that's one thing that I see is starting to lack, in my opinion, in the world. So I just wanted to put the message out there that, hey, you can be yourself. I have a song out now called Manifested, telling people that, you can manifest things that you want to come to you. These are things that I wasn't taught growing up, but I had to go figure out myself. And then I found out that, talking to people, it was kind of like a lost cause. Like, wait, what are you talking about? So I was like, wait, no, I know I'm not tripping. But so I just decided to start to put the message in my music because a lot of people are more susceptible to music because music can create and speak in any language.
Yeah, I would tend to agree that we're the way we receive information is changing too.
Yes.
So having it in music, I feel like that's where you're gonna reach people because that's that's what we do, right? We're on social, but we're listening to music at the same time, and slowly but surely, like your message gets in there. So like what? So you're teaching people to manifest, and
Yeah.
so let me go back a little bit. When you're saying like people are losing themselves, I wholeheartedly agree. So how are you catching their attention or to grab those people and bring them into your audience?
Well, honestly, just my overall brand. I watch anime. I'm an anime nerd. I'm a geek. We have our own community. We're called Blurs, but I love anime into the fullest. So I guess you can say I built a persona around that because it was even through anime because there were life lessons and just that typical hero's journey story of, if not me, then who will? I need to take it upon myself to, do this thing. Though nobody may believe in me, right? Though nobody may understand what it is that I'm doing, I know because this is giving me purpose. It's giving me life, especially from somebody who was just a regular bot, the NPC, just living, just operating, doing what I'm told to do. Hey, how you doing? But once I stumbled upon spirituality, it was like a breath of fresh air for me.
I love that. I love that. I mean, I'm in the spirituality industry too, and seeing people go through that transformation. Um, I'm sure you could agree. Like if you see somebody that's got a message from something you created, and like you said, planted that seed, and you see that they actually start making changes, is that not like the biggest payment ever, right?
It's very, very heartwarming to see somebody, elevate their life or their status just based off of what you can do for the world, And I'm like, wow, me, of course, it's like, don't get the big head, but it's like, I want to keep doing this. If I can keep helping people, especially with where times are now, I want to keep being a light in this world. I keep facing a lot. A lot of people say, "Well, why don't you talk about what's in the mainstream rap today, or how do you expect to make money? How do you do this?" And I'm like, "Well, for me, I mean, I know the money comes in this industry, but that's not what's driving me, right? Like I said, I'm a gardener, and my life's purpose is to really just sow seeds. I want to tell people that, hey, you do have power in you, powers that may lie dormant. And if I can see somebody take that and be like, I never knew, and then they start on their own path or whatever, my mission has been accomplished, right? Just by planting the seed. So you have so many people who take it in all these different facets. But yeah, even if it's just one person, that's enough for me.
Yeah, I think that's a great approach to come from, because when you come from that position, then abundance just lands upon you.
Yes, ma'am.
Because really, I mean, in the social world, right? In this, because I sell in the online space, and it's all about serving the people, not yourself. You know what I mean? But sharing your journey, because that's, at least in my audience, they're like, oh my gosh, she went from here to here, and I want that, you know? So, what, how did you end up finding spirituality? What was happening before?
Well, I was in college. I went to AMDA. It's the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in Hollywood, California. And being on my own, because mind you, I was in college at 17 years old, graduated, moved from Texas to California, and I was out there on my own. And it was just certain things for me that wasn't really working. Things that I were taught, in my religious life, that I was trying to apply, because I'm like, okay, well, I don't have my mother or my siblings or my father around to help me. Praying. Of course, I still kept my connection to my creator, but there was just certain things like, hey, just read the Bible. There are certain things that'll happen, or just do that and keep, and I was just like, but wait. So things were starting to get literally confusing. I remember there was a Zen garden at in my dormitory in college, and I remember sitting out there crying. I was just like, why do I feel this way? I was just so lost. Like it was, just even going back to that place, it's just very emotional. But I remember sitting there, and it was like a light almost hit my cranium, and it was like, hey, grow. That's the only thing that I heard. And so I started to begin to ask the questions, well, how do I grow? How do I do this? But little did I know that was me accepting the task, because I heard something from the fifth dimension come into my psyche. And I was like, wait, that was the first time that I was introduced to alchemy, because I was like, no, I was able to take something from what I heard in the spiritual, right? Or what I was thinking, the mental, and do it in the physical. So that was really one of the first times where I was like, yo, I need to change. I need to grow, because I was like, I try to do things the right way, or how my mother or father told me, or how my siblings used to do it. But for some reason, that just doesn't work for me. So that set me on that path of, self-discovery. It set me on the path to opening up myself more to new things, right? I had my first past life regression ceremony about 3 years ago, and I was able to, tap into that. But that only came due to me accepting, and not fighting, because knowledge is power, information is everywhere. So I had to really go on a journey. Like I had to study so many different things, just different frequencies, all the way back to physics, anatomy, right? Because magic is just wait, I forgot the saying, but magic is just science. It's just or what's the phrase? Magic is just unexplained science, or something like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So, but I really had to dive in, and I had to grow. I had to study the brain, because there were certain things I was like, okay, well, why am I choosing? I know I want to do this. That was the first time I was self-aware. I was like, I know I want to do this, but why can't I? And it was just like for the certain time of, well, I wanted to work out. I know I want to work out, but I just don't want to go. And it's just so simple to where you just got to get up and go to the gym, right? It was that same kind of scenario, So I kept hitting it every day, just studying, growing my brain, growing my mind. I ran across people like Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Dr. Kaba Kamene, my grand elder Taj Tariq. So it was just a lot of things that I had to take upon myself, and not be fearful of it, But, of course, know that I'm doing the right thing and know that I'm doing this for myself and for my mental health as well.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you talked about, diving into the science aspect of it, of the spirituality, because I think for a lot of people, we will operate in our logic side of our brain, right? So if we discover the science behind spirituality, it like clicks for us and our logical side. We're like, oh, there's the bridge, there's the gap. That's what makes it work.
Mhm.
And it becomes so much more real,
Yeah.
that you can accept these strange experiences or accept these thoughts that are coming in from the spiritual realm and be able to, put it out. Because I'm sure, since you're a creator, and you write a lot, you were saying you write poetry and lyrics and all that, and singing, this is all related to the angelic realm, right?
Mhm.
Because I teach psychic and mediumship development, and the angels are very much clairaudient, which is psychic hearing, right? So you just like, you get these ideas and you're like writing your songs, and it just like boom, like starts popping, right? It's like flowing.
I tell people all the time because like because the question that I get is, well, how are you able to keep writing music around spirituality and this and that? It's because I set the intention first. Like it's literally like almost a ceremony or a meditation that I'm about to get into. And I clear the space, I burn my incense, I light sage, and I really dive in because I know it's a transient experience whenever you're creating something like alchemizing, right? Taking something from the spiritual and bringing it in the physical.
Yeah.
So that's why I say it's nothing that I play with. So the fact that you said it's in the angelic realm is crazy, you know?
Right. Well, it might sound crazy to some of the listeners and stuff, but I've been teaching this for so long that you just get to, you start knowing, like when people come through and they say they're an artist and they're a writer, and then it's immediate that that's the realm that you're working with, especially if things start flowing through you and you're like, oh my gosh, the inspiration, right? In spirit, inspiration.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So where do you put your music out at? If you
So my music is out everywhere actually. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, and I'm under Senpai, the Indigo Child, but I spell Senpai with two I's. Just for legal purposes, don't want anybody to like, hey, that's mine. So I spell Senpai with two I's, but everything else is the Indigo Child, and yeah, if you type that in on any platform, Pandora, Deezer Music, Amazon Music, because I make sure to, distribute it to the masses, like everywhere. So if you want me to send you the song because you don't listen to music, I'll email it to you, but but it's out everywhere.
Beautiful. That's freaking awesome. I bet people will love to listen to it. So, you said you also create other things like art. What kind of art?
Well, outside of just music that I create, I'll create content videos, just things around spirituality. I had for a little while, I was running a podcast called Cosmic Conversations, and just to where I was bringing some of my friends in, and we were talking about just things of the supernatural, right? Just making sure to include that in our everyday reality, so it wouldn't be like a foreign topic to us. We wanted it to be like, oh, breakfast, eggs and bacon, also meditating spirituality. Like we wanted it to incorporate it like every day, but for right now, I do marketing and video editing for other businesses and companies. But for the creation portion, I just focus on music and then I make other content around the music. So if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. So, what is something that you discovered when you were studying all of this about like your brain and stuff? Do you have some golden nuggets to like let the audience know something that like really
Um,
blew your mind or something that really clicked for you?
there are a lot of things that will tell you that you are wrong whenever you are first on your enlightened path. And what I mean by that is, if you come from a background like me, a very religious background, you're gonna feel like everything that you're doing is kind of like maybe like, whoa, is this too much or is it wrong? but if you stick with it, you will see the benefits of it. Just speaking from my own experience, because there were many times that I wanted to give up. I'm like, okay, well, this probably isn't real, or this isn't that. But I listened to the naysayers, right? I listened to the people who didn't even have any inspiration themselves, and I let that energy affect me and rub me. So, but the universe had to deal with me how the universe had to deal with me. But if you stay consistent, because it is a test of your fate, and it's like you have to be willing to go through the fire. It's just like a diamond. You can't get a diamond until you put fire on it, and now it can sparkle, right? So you have to be willing to face that adversity, because that's one of the things that I've taken now, and I look at it as, hmm, it's another opportunity for me to be a light in somebody's life, or it's another opportunity for me to have a conversation with somebody who may not know, or who's not on our side of the club yet. It's like, hey, I come from peace and love. And I used to come from a place of anger and like very, very combative and very, very like, no, this is right. I'm studying this and da, da, da. But holding on true to that. That's why I say don't let the naysayers negate you. It's really an evolutionary process, and finding out that humans are in our own realm, and I don't know what your audience, or, I'm not disrespecting anybody, but we are gods and goddesses in our realm. And if we can change our life, then why not do it?
Yeah.
It's just a simple mind switch.
Yeah. I like how you say it's a simple mind switch because honestly, it is, but people get stuck just going through that same motions over and over and over. So when they see people like us, right, or they stand near us and they feel our energy, that's
Mm.
when they're like, wait, you know. I talk about it all the time, like you're saying your life is so much different now that you've put in that work of studying and applying.
Mhm.
Um, I loved how you said you used to approach it as this is the way it is. This is the way it is. Because I think when we first discover it, we're like, "Huh, nobody else knows this. Hey, look,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm
But
putting everything like this happened last week, and I see this and this, that, it's
yeah, but then once you embody it and once you start living it, that's when like you're being an example, and that's what brings the people in,
yes,
right?
ma'am. Exactly.
Because they want to feel the way you feel. They want to have this calm energy when there's this shitstorm, right? But you see it, but you're not affected by it, and it doesn't come up into your life as
Mm.
much before. And if it does, then you see it as a lesson. Whereas a lot of other people, they're just struggling through that shitstorm.
You said the key word. You said you see it as a lesson. It's perspective,
Mhm.
right? Because it's gonna come. Like people think that, oh, well, you're a spiritual person, so you must not deal with it. No, I tell people all the time, unfortunately, I'm human. So I have to deal with life. Like you can't just go through life on and up, and you can't just go through life on a low. It's life is a periodic sense of up and down, up and down, up and down. But it's just your perspective, how you look at it. An eagle chooses to fly above the storm. When a crow chooses to fly straight through, and then the wings get battered and it's broken. So it's all about how you view it. Is it a loss or is it a lesson?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yes, the lesson. Oh my gosh, this has been such a great conversation. Do you have anything else you want to add, or do you want to ask the audience to do something or look
Um,
into something or
well, I guess I would say, a little shameless plug here. If you're looking for more spiritual artists, if you're looking for more artists who are really pushing, light work, follow me everywhere on Instagram. It's Senpai, the Indigo Child. Same all across distributing platforms if you're looking for music. But let's also connect. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm in the Las Vegas area, and I see a lot of togetherness out here. So I've been forcing myself in, because I'm a homebody, so I've been forcing myself to go to these other events and to meet up with like-minded individuals. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a great experience. I That's one thing that I have taken for granted, is that human connection. So hey, we can link up or meet anywhere. I'm an open soul. I'm a open vessel, and please stream my new single, Manifested. It's on all streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you listen to music, just type in Manifested, Senpai, the Indigo Child, and it will pop up. Promise you. You add that to your rotation, the universe will bless you gratefully and graciously.
I love that. We will link that in the show notes here on the podcast too, that song. Yeah,
Awesome.
so you could send me the link and then we'll link it on there. And
Okay.
if you guys are in Las Vegas, Nevada, there's a group on Facebook called Las Vegas Awakening, and that's how we got connected because I'm also in Las Vegas as well. So yes, so we'll definitely have to meet up in real life at one of these events too.
Yes, ma'am. Most definitely, most definitely. I look
All right.
forward to it.
Yay. Thank you so much for being on here. I really appreciate it.
Peace and prosperity, family.